Joining me now, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Mark Eiglarsh and criminal rights and defense attorney Andell Brown. Wow. Mark, that...
All her. All her. Anybody who dares point the finger at law enforcement is either being intellectually dishonest or somehow really doesn't know the facts in this case. They were overly cautious. They could have shot her right away when they came in and then held back. 6 hours they waited. And when they came in, both with the words that she used, "I will kill you," coupled with the action, not putting down this shotgun, they had to take action. She caused her death.
Andell, do you agree?
In a situation like this, a picture's worth 1,000 words and a video is priceless. Here, we have the police account of the events, but we also had police accounts in the Walter Scott case, Laquan McDonald case, Tamir Rice case, where facts that were reported did not match up once we had a video. When we have citizens who feel the need, like in the Philando Castile or the Alton Sterling, to record interactions with police because the body cameras fell off, they aren't working, or whatever the case may be, it shows we have an issue with the trust and transparency and accountability.
That's not what she asked you.
Look at her. This is her with the gun. This is her with a shotgun, Mark Eiglarsh. That's on video.
That's what we're told. That's not what we see.
What?
So what are you suggesting, Andell? Are you going to manufacture facts?
What I'm suggesting is in a city like Baltimore
I'm looking at it right now
with the Freddie Gray, there should be using body cameras in this case.
They just got the body cameras a couple of weeks ago. They're implementing that in Baltimore.
Well, great. We need to see what happened. That's all I can say. I can't make assumptions like Mark that it's all her without seeing what happened, because I've seen police reports that turned out not to be true once we saw the video.
But Mark Eiglarsh, we are seeing. This is video from the moment this went down.
We can play Andell's generic game. I've made it before. Hold on. Andell, we'll go with what you're saying. You could throw out that generic comment all day long. We never know because we weren't there. We haven't seen reports, and sometimes reports are wrong. You're correct. But here's the question. Based upon what they're reporting, are you conceding that this was a justified shooting?
Mark, what I'm saying is I'm not just going to go with what they report.
The answer is yes or no.
When we go into a court of law, Mark, you don't control this interview. When we go into a court of law, we make sure we're very sure before we take someone's freedom.
You just can't say the word,
we go through many steps before we take someone's life.
Andell, it was a hypothetical.
Hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second.
People deserve to see and evaluate whether they're correct or incorrect.
Okay,
we have to keep the government honest.
To your point, to Andell's point, the video of her loading up that gun was apparently from 2 weeks earlier. It wasn't this. This was 2 weeks earlier. It wasn't in the moment that she had the confrontation with the police, who say she did have the long gun, who you can hear discussing with her son on the video she believes they're trying to kill her. And there's a question about her mental state, Mark. I mean, I don't know whether this woman was okay emotionally or mentally, and the police would not confirm whether she had a history of mental health issues. But here she is, just a couple of weeks earlier when she had the confrontation with police. She was pulled over. She didn't have a license plate. She considered herself a sovereign citizen. She didn't recognize the authority of the U.S. law enforcement agents. She demanded to see their authority cards. And this is a confrontation. This is a piece of tape from back then. Watch.
You know they're talking about stealing my vehicle. Hey, Cody, they tell you get out this car or take your seatbelt off. You do not get out this car. Do you understand? Yeah. You better fight they asses. Fight them. Do you hear me? Yeah. And they will have to kill me today.
No, nobody wants to.
They will have to. They will have to in front of my children and everything. While y'all burn in hell. All y'all pigs.
Right, so she's telling her child he has to get out. I think it's her 5-year-old. He has to get out and fight the police, that they're going to have to kill her to get her out of the car. The officer asked for her license and registration. She refuses to show it. She demands to see his authority card. He shows it to her. So the question is whether this person was of sound mind and whether the police, if that is the case, had an obligation to do more, to not engage in a shootout with this person.
Okay, here's my take on her. I will defend her right to spew her outrageous and offensive speech, even y'all pigs, like she said at the end. She has a constitutional right to say that. But her constitutional rights end when she begins to resist and obstruct officers, as she did in that scenario, but worse, when she shows violence, when she has a gun aimed at law enforcement officers who didn't wake up wanting to kill anybody that day. They just wanted to go home to their families, and she created a scenario that led to her tragic demise.
Go ahead, and I'll give you the last word.
In this circumstance, it is absolutely a tragedy whenever someone loses life or liberty. In this country where life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness are high ideals, we take it very seriously. So I just want to make sure that in every one of these instances, we have the transparency and accountability to keep our government honest, from the cops on the street all the way up to the White House. That's what the people deserve, and that's what we want.
Great to see you both.
Same here, Megan.